Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I do for the one. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know this item existed until just a few minutes ago, so neat. Well, we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is absolutely the case today. I went over there. I got off work about 45 minutes ago or so, something like that. And it was not a terrible night, but it was a night, man. You know, not one for the record books, but I was definitely pretty wore out at the end of it. And, you know, on top of that, I was just really tired because I had stuff I had to do the day prior, and it all just kind of bled together, you know. So when I was done, I'm like, man, I want to go out. I want to get myself a nice little treat, you know, just something. And if you watch my channel, you know, long enough, you know that, you know, typically when I run into that stuff, you know, hit up a couple different places. Usually, I'll either go to maybe like Tropical Smoothie Cafe, get myself a smoothie or maybe one of their food items, or the other place that I tend to go to is, boom, Dunkin. Specifically, Dunkin that I went to had this. It was a new item. What is it? It is called the Tornado Twist Spark Duh energy drink. And it is a whirlwind of peach sunshine and berry burst. So what this means is they took their sparked energy flavors that they have, the peach and the berry, and they just put them together. And they're like, it's a new drink, waka waka. I mean, I bought it, so there you go. But yeah, so okay. I have reviewed the other two flavors, by the way, so if you're interested, go ahead and check those out. They will end up on the Dunkin reviews playlist, because I have an entire playlist of just Dunkin reviews that I've done. I've done so much of their stuff. So, I'm going to go over there and swirl this up a bit, because I feel like that's the whole point of this thing, right? It's the tornado and the whole thing. It's like the movie Twister, Bill Paxton, and Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt's so pretty. She's a very attractive lady, but in a very, like, unique way, you know? I like a face, you know, that has character. She has a lot of character in her face. In a good way. It sounds like I'm damning with faint praise, but I'm not. Like, she's very pretty. Okay, let's give it a go. Oh. I don't know that mixes together. Oh, it's a lot of weird flavors. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it definitely is what it said it is. It's just a combination of their two, you know, normal flavors that they have. Problem is that anybody who's ever gone to like a fast food establishment or something like that and had some fun with the fountain drinks, right? Especially when you're a kid, but yeah, even if you're an adult. You know, you start to learn, like, not every combination is a winner, you know? Like, some of them are really good, you know, maybe you mix some Sprite and some Fanta or, you know, what have you. You know, you get some good stuff. But not all of them are great. This is one that, for me, I think, is not, it's not a winner. It's just the flavors aren't coalescing, they're fighting each other. So, when it comes to the sparked energy stuff, the peach one had a really strong peach flavor, like almost abrasive to a certain extent, you know, and I kind of was okay with it, but it wasn't my favorite. I like the berry one a lot more. Problem is that in this, you're still getting that heavy peach flavor, but now it's sort of being somewhat curtailed by the berry flavor. Now, folks, if you watch my channel, you know, like, I like contrasting flavors. But they need to contrast and work. There needs to be a symbiosis, a balance, sort of reached. Otherwise, it's just chaos. And this is just chaos. It is the berry and the peach just don't go together. I mean, in a sort of very generic way they do, and just kind of an overall fruit flavor. But the problem is that peach flavor is so strong and so biting, and then you get like sort of like the fruity tartness from the berry. It's like it doesn't really know. It's very disjointed, like as you're drinking it, you're getting like just like these massive peaks and valleys where it's like, oh, there's that peach flavor. Oh, here comes in the berry. Peach again. And it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. So it's a mix of sort of a peachy flavor, kind of a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a tang from the berry. I'll say this, oddly enough, I like the way that it drinks. It's very refreshing tasting. It has almost like a dryness to it as you're drinking it, but it's very refreshing. It makes you want to kind of, after I make a bunch of funny faces because my brain is trying to rewire itself to figure out what the hell I'm drinking, after that, the rest of me is kind of like, yeah, okay, sorry, okay. I will say the more I'm drinking it, maybe. More I'm drinking it, the more I'm becoming a little bit more accustomed to it, and I think it's settling down a little bit. I think the first like couple drinks that I got were like that extra heavy hit of whatever's in there, but it's still, I almost like it. Like when the flavors actually do come together properly, I like that. That is actually a nice fruity flavor with, again, you get sort of hints of the peach and hints of the berry. But the problem is that when you don't have that cohesion, it is really sporadic in the way that it drinks. And so even when I like what I like about it, I know that that's going to fade out, and then again, it's just going to be a freaking complete, scattershot of the flavors that I'm going to experience. And then, yeah. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No, and kinda, I guess. Here's the thing. For me, I'm not going to say I hate it or anything like that. I don't even know if I'd say I outright dislike. I might dislike it. I don't know. Dislike might be a little bit too much. It's confused, and I don't think it works that well. But there are aspects of it that I like. And when I get those aspects, it's a somewhat nice drink. I don't think that this needed to exist, if I'm honest with you. I think that the two separate flavors are fine. This one is just weird, and like I said, I don't think it's really much of a winner. And I honestly think it's a little bit lazy that they tried to make this into, like a new thing. But, all that said, yeah, for me personally, I wouldn't go in for it again, because it's just a little bit too off, But, I could see people liking this. There are people out there who, maybe if they just like one or more aspects of it more than I do, they might be able to get something out of it. Because again, like, I don't hate it or anything, and so like when it comes to stuff like this, I try to be a little bit forgiving, because it's like, well, okay. So it's one of those things where like I can't give it like a huge recommendation, because again, I just think it's very confused, even if I am kind of willing to give it certain things. So it's one of those things, like, if you're on the fence about it, you can let it go. But if it seems like something that, is an exciting prospect for you, give it a go. It's, I don't think you'll hate it or anything. You might. It definitely has polarizing aspects to it. But overall, again, I don't think it's a terrible drink. It's just probably a terrible decision. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly, I'm so very tired, tastic rest of your life. I'm so tired. I need to go inside and I'm going to go inside, I'm going to eat a couple cookies, because my aunt made me some cookies, and she's a very nice lady. Love her bunches. And I've been jonesing for those cookies ever since I went to work, so I'm going to get a couple of those, and I'm going straight to sleep. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your... here's a question for you. Did you have any particular favorite flavor combos when you used to go over there, hit up the fountain drinks back in the day? I don't know that I ever really had one that was a huge standout for me, but I know that when McDonald's used to still have Fruitopia, because they were the last place that had Fruitopia in the United States, you could get it through their fountain drink. It was one of, maybe strawberry or something, it was red. And I remember that was the one I would always work with the most. I wanted that one to work well because I always really liked Fruitopia. I think I used to put it in Coke, and I think that was pretty good. You get almost a strawberry Coke kind of thing. But yeah, I'd be interested to see, if any of you fine folks had anything. Feel free to comment to that effect. Anyway.